So I'm getting 3 different students so far. So welcome to English 101, and my name is Professor H, and welcome to week 1. So make sure that you put the name on your, I've got someone that just simply says student. So don't forget to write down your name. So basically what you do is you go to your, where it says where it says student, and then you click, I guess you right click, and I'll be right back. I have to go answer a phone. Hello? Hey, Allison.
Hi, Yvonne, how are you?
I'm doing the Fortis College Zoom. See, I'm talking to the boss. So basically, I'm actually doing something for your school. 1, 2, 3, 4 students are all listening to this conversation.
Oh, goodness. Well, call me back. I didn't want you to answer while you were busy.
Okay, all right. Bye.
Thanks. Bye.
All right. So that was the Fortis College boss. Yeah, so you got to hear my that the person in charge of all these classrooms, and that's her voice. She called just as you guys get to listen in. So that's a coincidence. Anyway, so I wanted to welcome everyone to English 101. And do you have any questions so far? Every week, what I'm going to do is at 4:30 p.m. Eastern, I will always be holding these Zoom sessions. And in these their office hours, and then during these office hours, you can come in and ask questions about your papers, about your assignments, about quizzes. So let's say you didn't understand something, like you got something wrong, or you want to go over a quiz. I could go over papers. If there's an assignment that you didn't understand. So what I'll do is I will do a combination of all of that. And usually it's based on whatever the students needs. And so I'm not going to plan any kind of lecture unless students ask for, oh, can you do a lecture on subject-verb agreement next week or something like that. So if somebody asks for a lecture, then I will do it. Now, in the past, these office hours used to be planned lectures. But now this school has changed its mind, and now these office hours are just times in which you can drop in and ask questions. Okay, so before I go over what you have to do for week 1, I'd like to get to know each one of you. So I have several of you that's coming in as Hassania and Miriam. What are the other 2 students' names? Just as student. So don't forget to change your student. I was just about to tell you how you do that when the phone rang. So all you have to do is you hover your clicker over over the word student, which is right under your picture. Then you right click, and then it's going to say rename. Okay, so I will show it to you. I will rename myself as Professor H, not Fortis College. Then you press on change, and then voila. So now I have a different name. So you could do the same thing too, and that way I know who I'm talking to. So I know already that Hassania, is that how you say your name, or is it Hassana? Oh, great.
Asana.
Hassana. Okay, let's start with Hassana. Can you turn on your video so we can all see you and get to know who you are? Go ahead.
Hello, Professor.
Good afternoon, Hassana. So what made you choose Fortis College, and how do you like it so far?
Well, I think I decided to choose 40s because of the passing rate, and they had a lot of good reviews. I knew quite a few people who had been to school there.
Oh,
And
okay. Go
so
ahead.
far, so good. I like it.
Oh, how many classes have you taken so far?
Just the one,
Just this one
biology.
so far?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Okay. So welcome to Fortis and welcome to English 101. The next
Thank
one,
you.
how do you say it? Jamaica? Jamaica? Okay, can you turn your, oh, okay. All right. So welcome to English 101. So what made you choose Fortis College?
Because I chose it because of the passing rate.
Passing rate. Oh, by the way,
Mhm.
I like the pictures behind you. And
Thank you.
Nicole, how do you like the class so far?
So
So far, so
Okay.
good.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you said my name.
Oh, okay. Sorry, I might have said Jamaica and then looked at Nicole by mistake.
Yeah.
So, let me go to Nicole. How do you like it so far?
I like it. It's a lot of getting used to.
Yeah, I will go over the classroom and the navigation and whatever other questions you have. Miriam, how do you like it so far?
Hi. Well, I really like it because, as I tell you, my first language is Spanish, so I'm learning a lot with all the chapters that I have to read. And yeah, I really like it because I'm understanding a lot of things now. And I have a question because we have to read a lot of chapters, no, chapter number 1, 11, 12, and 14. But I don't know if we have to read all the chapter 11 or just the 11.1.
Yeah, so that's a good question. Well, even though they tell you that you should only do 11.1, it's probably a good idea to read the entire chapter. In other words,
Okay.
read the entire chapter really fast to get an idea of what it is. And then you focus later on just the one chapter 11.1 of whatever's listed. So for me, whenever I study, I read really fast the whole thing, and then I study intensively the one chapter that they say is going to be on the quiz. So that way in your head, you know where that chapter fits within the realm of the whole chapter. It helps you understand the context. Does that make
Okay.
sense?
Yeah, a lot of sense. Thank you.
Yeah, I will be giving you much more information about the quizzes, study guides, and all of that after we finish the introduction. So, Jamaica, how did you find out about Fortis College?
Just Googling.
Oh, okay. You just Googled it. Okay. And I'm not sure where I am. I did Miriam. Layla, did I leave anyone out? Let me see if it seems to have a like this. Oh, Ernest. Okay. So Layla, how did you find out about Fortis College?
I had a friend recommend it to me. She liked the classes and the flexibility of the schedule, and that's exactly what I needed. So I looked into it and I applied.
Okay. And are you guys all in Ernest? I think you're the last one on this call. So how did you find out about Fortis College? You're on mute. Okay, you're still muted.
Okay.
Now you're not. Okay, so how do you like it so far?
Well, it's good. It's a good school, and I like the environment. The environment is good. There was a day I was driving. I was driving by when I saw the name Fortes Institute. I said, "Man, okay, let me visit this place and see what's going on here." But as the way it look at the way I'm seeing things, I know it's a nice school. It's a good place to be.
So, where are you from originally?
Yeah, I'm from Nigeria.
Nigeria. Okay, I know you didn't have an American accent there. So, welcome to the United States.
Oh, thank you
And
so
welcome
much.
to Fortis. So, basically, this week, what you're going to do is you're going to do week 1 forum. And so the week 1 forum is the what does writing mean to you? So that's the graded forum. The other 2 forums, like the course cafe and the other forums that are on the very bottom, those are all ungraded forums where you as students can hang out together. So if you ask me questions in the course cafe, that's like asking me, I don't go there because it's like a student cafeteria. It's for you guys only. So that way you guys can hang out, say things like, oh, she's such a stuffy professor. She doesn't even answer my questions. Then I don't even have to be there to know you said that, you see. So it gives you the freedom to let your hair down. Both my schools, I teach at 2 different schools, have the same kind of, except they call it different, Anyway, so if you want to contact me with questions, it's always better to email me directly because I always check my email. And so my email is, and if you have a pen, it's yho@fortiscollege.edu. So that would be my email address. And then also, if you email me and then I email you back, that will have my phone number, email signature. So that's where I put it. I cannot remember my phone number off the top of my head. So ever since cell phones, before cell phones, and you had to memorize numbers. Now it's all on speed dial, so you just don't memorize it anymore. Anyway, so this week you're going to be doing the week 1 forum, and not every week, that's my other school. You're going to have a week 1 quiz, week 3 quiz, week 5 quiz, a midterm, week 7 quiz, and a final. So that pretty much rounds out all of your tests. And for each of those tests, I will provide a study guide. And that's why you should always make it a habit to check your announcements, because I tend to put the study guides in your announcements and also in your email. And so this week, I've already mailed out your week 1 study guide, week 1 quiz study guide. So you should study the study guide first before you take the quiz. And so the study guide has questions that are similar to your week 1 quiz. They're not exact. Some of the questions are exact. Some of the questions are similar. Some students have told me that the study guide is not at all like the actual quiz, and others tell me it is. So I don't know who to believe. But so I tell students that once you know the study guide, then you know the kind of questions to expect on the week 1 quiz. And so I always send those out. And if I don't, you could always remind me. And then if there's something you don't understand, you can always ask me. So, and then if you want to know what to study for, then you go to, let's see if I can get to it. Let's see. I did not. Oh, here it is. Okay, it's this one. So I'm going to share my screen. And then I'm going to go to the, where is it? Not there. That's Zoom. And then here we go. So let me get rid of this, go here. Can you see my classroom?
Yes.
All right. So in order to get to any of your assignments, you should go to modules. That's the magic button for everything. And then you go down here, okay? Now, if you want to know more about the class, meet your instructor, that one will show you my who I am, okay? And then you scroll down and you can see that. One thing I want to show you is about the syllabus. A lot of people just look at this, and in the syllabus, you can keep track of all your assignments week by week. You could figure out what the assignments are, what the grades are, and week by week, you should always look 1 week ahead at so right now we're in week 1, you should already be looking at week 2 to find out what you have to know. Why do I always tell students to look a week ahead? Because that way you have time to ask me questions. And then each week it will tell you what is going to be, what you have to know for the quiz and what you have to study. So you have to study all of these chapters. And so then after that, I want you to keep scrolling down. That's where all the due dates are. A lot of students simply stop right here and go up and down thinking that's it. But you have to go outside where the arrow is. And then here you get all your due dates. And so I'm going to scroll all the way down. Notice that Friday, December 20th, that's going to be your last day of class, right before Christmas. That's the only time your assignments are going to be due on a Friday. All the other times for your writing assignments anyway, it's all on Sunday. And then the only 2 assignments that's due on Wednesday is your free writing assignment. The warm-up free writing assignments are due on Wednesday. And your first posts to your forums are also due on Wednesday. And then your post to 2 students are due on Sunday. Yeah, that's what it is. And then you can go to discussions, and that's how you get to your discussion, to all of your discussions. And if you have trouble with your assignments, you can use BrainFuse online tutoring, which is free for you. Okay, it seems that not many students are using then you launch BrainFuse and you should be able to get in. And if you're in my section 6, you can get to use the Zoom over here, okay? I use the same Zoom link, so you could just come to this Zoom link for all your lectures. And then your assignments, you press over here, and then you get, and this is where you get all of your assignments for the entire, plus your quizzes. See, and you get to see what your quizzes are. Quiz 1, quiz 3, 5, I don't know what happened to 7, 6, 12, and there's also a syllabus and course policy quiz that I have not yet given you the study guide. Okay, that I have to do. I forgot about that. And then if you have, so everything that you need to know is in modules. Now, if you want to access your textbook, you have to go to the reading and expectations. Every week, you're going to have week 1, read expectations and readings. So expectations and readings, then these are all of what you have to know for a quiz 1. That's how you know what's for the quiz, is you always go, and then when you click on these links, okay, when I click on, say, this link, I have to wait for it. But that's how you access your book, okay? So here I have, this is going to be your ebook. And so what's great about the ebook is you just scroll up and down, and you've got to memorize or just take notes. Keep an index card of all the definitions. I don't know if you can see me do this, but yeah. And then all of the definitions, if you press on TOC, you've got to wait for it to load, but TOC, oh no, not TOC, sorry, it's self-study, excuse me. So if you go to self-study, then all of the words, all of like for instance, in chapter 1, one of the words is supporting points. And then you have to memorize those words. This will then test you. So first, what is a supporting point? So I flip it. A supporting point is details, facts, and explanations that develop and clarify a writer's main point. Then you go to next. What is expository writing? Let me think. And then expository writing is when you write something to inform the reader. Flip. Yeah, writing that conveys facts or descriptions. So this is a good practice test. And then you could also quiz yourself. There are no quiz sections but it's great for you for study, and then write down all of the definitions that occur in every chapter. And when you press on TOC, that's the table of contents. And that's how you access all of the different chapters. And so chapter 1, and then you go to study skills. Then if I go to self-study, it's no longer going to be supporting points because we're in a different chapter. Now you're going to be memorizing what's an auditory learner, what's a visual learner, what's a learning style. You flip it, and then that sort of thing. And so I always tell students that you need to make these index cards based on what's in the self-study. So that way, if you're sitting in a bus, or you're in a doctor's office and you're waiting, you could just go through your index cards and study. And then you have to memorize the definitions just like it is written here, okay? Remember, when I said expository writing is how you write an essay that informs the reader. Well, that is the definition of expository writing in many other English books. But in this one, it says that it's facts, you inform the facts of whatever it is. So it's got a slightly different way of putting it. And you have to simply know the definition of this particular textbook. And if you take your nutrition class, this nutrition textbook is anytime you see the word flat world textbook in any of, not all your classes will have a flat world, but some of them do, then they will all have a TOC. They will all have self-study, and you could use the same study skills that you did here in that textbook as well. So when you take your nutrition class, you can also study your nutrition, self-study, same thing. You've got to make the index cards. It'll make it easier. Now, anytime you see a flat world textbook, you're an expert. But even if you don't have a flat world textbook and you don't have this self-study, anytime you see anything bolded, see here it says learning style refers to the way you prefer to take in new information by seeing, listening, or through anything that's bolded, you would write it down on your index cards. When you're studying any kind of textbook and you want to learn the chapter, you always write down what's bolded. Now you might think that is so laborious, that's so tedious, that's so boring, but that's how you learn the material. That helps you retain the material, especially if you got to learn the parts of the body. It's never easy to learn every little part of the body. Only God knows the parts of the body really well without any effort. He created it. So this way, when you sit, like I said, when you're sitting in the bus station, you could just flip through your cards and be studying for your test. And actually, it's kind of fun because it's like a game that you play for yourself. And so that's how you would be studying. And it's not just for your English chapter test, nutrition chapter test, parts of the body study test. Welcome to the world of studying to become a nurse, studying to become a dentist, or studying to become actually anything, psychologist. For me, it was being a linguist. And I had a huge linguistic, like thousands of pages to memorize. And I had a lot of index cards. So I will stop sharing to see if you have any questions so far. Do you have any questions so far on what I've shown you? No. Okay. So I'm now going to briefly go over this week's assignments and next week's assignments. And then usually I don't have so much classroom stuff to show you because usually everyone knows the classroom. And then we just discuss what your papers are, because usually the most common question is, and in the very first essays, I want you to start thinking about a topic. What event in your life has been a turning point? Okay, what event changed your entire life? That's one topic. Who is your role? Who's your hero? Who's the person that influenced you the most? Okay, so those are the two, for your narrative essay, which is due, the outline of it is due next week. So this week, you're not going to be writing an outline, but next week, you're going to start writing a narrative essay about yourself, okay? And it's going to be 5 paragraphs, but first you're going to start with an outline. And another one is, why did you come to Fortis? And the most common topic is, I became a nurse because. Okay, so that is a common, if you can't think of any other role model or a turning point event, then you can write about, I want to become a blank because. Reason 1, reason 2, reason 3. So that's the fallback topic if you can't think of anything else. So so start thinking about essay topics. And then do you want me to go over the week 1 quiz or anything like that? Because that's 101 questions. So what I did was I gave you a study guide. And at the very bottom of the study guide, I gave all the answers. In other words, it has an answer key. So you have to learn you have to first read all those chapters, then practice the 101 questions. And then the answer key is at the very end. So let's say next week we meet again at 4:30 or whatever, and there's something you don't, but of course, if you still want to, you can still email me. If you want to have an answer to a question before next week, you can always email me and then I will give you the answer. Another one, in this class, another thing we're going to learn in this class is we're going to learn how to use ChatGPT. You can access ChatGPT by going to www.openai.com. And we're going to use ChatGPT in order to revise our essays, brainstorm ideas. But we don't use ChatGPT to write down, okay, here's my forum question. The forum question says, I've got to write about myself. And then you just write exactly what ChatGPT. So there's a right way to use ChatGPT. There's a wrong way to use ChatGPT. And that's what you're going to take this class to learn the right way to use AI, to use it ethically. Number 1 rule is we don't ask AI to write our essays for you unless you want to sound like a robot. Okay, you will sound like this if you write ChatGPT for your entire essay. Okay. So I will teach you how you can use it to help you write your essay, to help you brainstorm ideas. But you have to already have your essay already written. But you can use ChatGPT if you get stuck on an idea, like you don't even know what to write about. Then you can use it to brainstorm ideas. So we will go over that in future. But for the most part, all of my students think that learning about AI and ChatGPT was a lot of fun. You can go ask the previous students that was in my class that question. Did you enjoy learning ChatGPT from Professor H? And then you can get the answer, since I know that you guys go to classes online for learning how to do treatments and certain things that they have to show you right then and there. things that you can't do online. Even at UCLA, we have nursing classes, but at UCLA, we have, you know, in the hospital, we have a training, you know, it's called a training hospital at the UCLA. And then the senior nurse will show the junior nurses, now this is where you do this. This is how you do that. And right then and there in front of patients even, and then you even get to stuff like that. This you already know. So at UC, and I remember during the pandemic, that was troublesome because everything was closed. So then we had to do everything online and figure out how do we do that part of the training online that's usually done face to face. There's certain things you can only do face to face, well, anyway, how many of you want to be nurses? Anybody not want to be a nurse?
I want to be a nurse.
What? What did you say?
Yes. I want to be a nurse.
Yeah, you want to be a nurse. Okay.
Yeah.
So I will, and so you could also talk about in your narrative essay why you want to become a nurse. So I will also go over essay structure. So that I'll do next week. This week I just wanted to do just a general introduction and say hello. And if you have any questions, this week's assignments should be relatively easy and straightforward. Do you have any questions? No. Okay. So if you have any questions about you want to go to the study guide that says Better ENGO 101 Quiz 1 study guide, because my original study guide didn't have an answer key. I only just put the answer key yesterday. So then I labeled it Better, just so I could differentiate the different files. So that you're the first class to get an answer key, actually. Okay. So the other classes simply just got the questions without the answer key. So consider yourself lucky that you were the second class in, because this is the second time I'm teaching this class with this new curriculum. That's why. So yes.
I do have a question. Are we going to be on Zoom meetings every Wednesday at 4:30?
I will be having these Zoom meetings. Yes, every Wednesday at 4:30. That's a requirement. They're office hours. Used to be called Zoom lectures, but now they're office hours. It's similar to if you had a face-to-face teacher and she puts her shingle, says out and says, I'm available from 1:30 to whatever, and you knock on her door and then she answers, and then you go over for writing anyway, we go over the paper.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Those
I just want to make sure there wasn't any additional days or
no.
Okay.
So all your classes, the professors should be having the office hours just like this. Any other questions? Oh, and then next, yes. How do you say your name? Hassana? Yes.
Yes, it is Hassana.
Okay, so what's your question?
So basically, I see some kind of pattern for the homework and then the revision. So if you can just go over it with us, tell us, because I almost started to do one, and then I realized I had to go back and do something before I went into the discussion and then before I uploaded the assignment.
All right, so for instance, let's go back into the classroom, and where is the classroom? That one. Yeah. And so let's get out of the textbook. All right, so let's go to announcements. Actually, you should go to always check your syllabus first. Okay. So if you want to know every week, what do I have to do every week? The first thing we do is we check our syllabus and we go to week 1, wherever that is. Week 1, that's already week 2, week 1. Yeah. So in week 1, you go over essay writing. These first you have what you have to read. So reading is chapter 1, section 1, chapter 1, section 3. That's for essay writing. Chapter 11, chapter 14, section 5, and so on. So all of these is just your reading. Then if you want to know what your assignments are, then you would have your assignment is going to be discussion forum. What does writing mean to you? You have a quiz, and then you have an assignment. And so then out of class assignments, that's week 2. So that doesn't count. And so you always look under discussion, quiz, assignment. An easier way, if you want to know what expectations are, is you go to modules. There should be a module that just shows you what it is that you have to hand in every week. Let's see, common mistakes, knowledge checks, expectations, and readings. It could be under overview. Hold on. No, it used to be under overview. They used to have a list at the very end of, this is not it. Okay, let's go to modules. But basically, you go to syllabus, and then the syllabus will tell you what it is you have to do. But you know what? The easiest way is just to look over here. You know, you have to do week 1 assignments, week 1 practice. This one's due on Wednesday. You got the week 1 discussion, then you got the week 1 quiz. And then week 1 summary, that's not an assignment. That just is a wrap up of what you're supposed to know for that week. So that's just a wrap up. So let's say we go into week 2. What do we do for week 2? Same thing. You look under week 2 assignments, and then you have week 2. Let's see, week 2 is all in the, yeah, you have a week 2 discussion, you have a week 2 assignment, and that's it. So under week 2 assignments, so always look under the assignments. That will show you what you have to do for that week. So if I went to week 3, we have to do week 3 practice, we have to do a week 3 discussion, and a week 3 quiz. And the same thing, week 4 is the week 4 discussion. So they rearranged this. It's a little different. Anyway, it doesn't really matter. It serves the same function. So here you have the week. So week 5. So every time, if you want to know what you have to do, just look under week 5 assignments and week 6 assignments and so on. So week 6 is the big midterm. That counts for like half your grade. So you really have to study for that one. So I do have a study guide for that. Week 7, the same thing. And they don't have a week 7 test anymore. Oh, they did change that. Oh, well, okay. So I'm still learning the, so you don't, I guess they took away one of your tests. Lucky you. We used to have a week 7 test for you guys. Last class had, I guess they thought it was too many quizzes or something. Okay, so you guys don't have to take a week 7 test. But you do have to take a midterm and a final. So that's really big. I think the final was 100. We just finished the final from the last class. It was 140 questions off the top of my head. Yeah, it was 140 questions that the last class just finished. And the average grade was not bad at all. So therefore, do you have any questions? Now you see what I have to grade, right? So, yeah.
Can I ask another question?
Sure.
Let
Do
you,
stop
it's
there for a second. Go ahead.
Is it okay to, if we have, like, I know for me personally, like the biggest challenge this week is learning time management, how to, just get in the routine of keeping up with all the assignments for all the classes. But like one of the other professors, she was saying that, like for her class, if we get to where we can work a week ahead, like she had students that would work all their assignments, knock them all out, and then use the rest of their time just to keep studying. Do you
You can do that. You can do that.
we can turn them in early and, if we can.
Yes.
Okay.
Mhm.
I'm not saying I can do that, but I'm saying if the opportunity
But don't
comes.
expect me to be grading it. I had a student in week 1 be doing week 12 assignments. I told her,
no.
oh, well, I'll be grading that in week 12.
Yeah, I got you.
Everybody, if 100 students all decided they want to all work ahead, can you imagine how many
Oh, yeah.
hundreds and hundreds of assignments? No. So each week, so week 1, I'm only going to do week 1 grading. Week 2, I'm only going to do week 2 grading. Otherwise, I get no sleep, no life. And
Understood.
you'll see me swinging from the lanterns, that kind of stuff. So
Right.
yeah, so okay, you can go up to all the way to week 12. I've had that happen. It's just a guy that told the student, oh, well, I'll grade it in week 12 when the rest of us get there. And we did eventually get to week 12. And she got an A for the class. But that's a whole nother story. Any other questions?
Yes. Professor H, I was confused when we got to the discussion part. It seemed the discussion was divided into 2 parts initially, what you wanted. It was showing basically questions you wanted us to do with the introductions. And then the second part were the 3 questions about, the discussion itself. So do we do that and submit it all in one writing, or do we?
You could do either one. You could either you could split it up into 2, or you could write 1. I always treat the first forum as an introduction forum where we just get to know
Okay.
each other. And the instructional designer is the one who created the class. So for all of the classes in this school, it's an instructional designer who creates the class, and then it's the professor who teaches the class. It's like 2 different people.
People,
So just like you, I have to adjust to whatever's in the classroom, just like you have to adjust to whatever's in the classroom. And I personalized the classroom by writing my own study guides and announcements. So the study guides are all mine, but then I have to adapt the study guides to whatever the instructional designer created as a test.
Okay. Also, I noticed that there was something about food mentioned in this one.
Oh, that's a
About
mistake. That's a mistake.
Okay, I thought so.
That's week 3. In week 3, you are going to be doing food posts, and then in week 4, you will be rewriting those weekly food posts. So that's where those instructions are supposed to be. In week
Awesome.
3, it would say, in week 3, we will be guessing. In other words, you're going to write a food post. Everyone has to guess what that is. Okay.
Okay.
And then it said, and in the next week after that, we will revise it. That will make perfect sense if the instructions were placed in the correct spot. So I reported that to
Okay,
admin,
good.
because
I'm
like
all good.
I said, I didn't create these classrooms. They use the same classrooms for all the teachers. So we just, as a teacher, we're just supposed to, if we see a mistake, we have to report it.
All right. Thank you so much.
No problem. And if you see a mistake in the quizzes, same thing. Wasn't me. I didn't make those quizzes. So if you see for instance, 2 answers that look the same, like if you say dogs like to eat dog food, A. Dogs like to eat dog food, B. And you're looking at A and B, but they're identical. What's the difference? That was a quiz mistake. If that quiz mistake is still in there, you tell me, and then I have to report it again. It's not dogs like to eat dog food, but it was some other, that's a mistake. Each choice, A, B, C, and D, is supposed to be different. Another mistake, previous mistake, this one they fixed, was what is the part of speech of the underlined word? There was nothing underlined. That was funny, right? The entire sentence had nothing underlined, and they were asking for what is the part of speech of that underlined word. And the underlining was missing. It was supposed to be the first word, she went to the store. So they were supposed to underline she, and the correct answer was pronoun. That sort of thing. If nothing is underlined, you're looking at the sentence going, huh? Like that. So that was on the last iteration, but that was fixed. Stuff like that. So that sometimes little typos get through or something, because humans make mistakes. Any other questions? No, that's a good sign. That means that you're happy and good to go. All right. So I'll see you all next week if you have questions. And every week it's always 1:30 p.m. And that's my time, 1:30 Pacific and 4:30 Eastern. Okay. So I will be signing off unless you have any other questions. No. Okay. You are so welcome. Okay. See you all next